Tom, this is not music. Music was hard when Steve Jobs first did that, not as a service, but as downloads. This is video, and the rules seem totally different. In the music world, you had to have everything basically available for download. People didn't want piecemeal. Now, in the video era, people are perfectly happy to have Netflix with its content and to have somebody else and piece it together, right?
Well, the music analogy here is, I think, important because music is the ultimate consumer experience. Any piece of music ever written in one app, one user interface, recommendations, navigation, menu, all in one, incredibly simple, incredibly elegant. Video is not there, print is not there. What is Apple focusing on? Video and print. The question is, can they get video to that point of simplicity and elegance that Spotify and Apple Music have brought to the music world? They got a really tough road to hoe here, but I think this is the beginning of Apple trying to take its 1.4 billion device users and say, we will deliver the ultimate television experience by solving for television the way music has been solved for. Tough, though.
Joanna, I'm not sure what problem Apple is solving here. In the past, when it was iTunes, the problem was, hey, digital music, there's piracy, it's inconsistent, the experience is bad. With video downloads, those kind of didn't exist in the way that they did before Apple did them. Here, it almost feels like they're saying, hey, we can do that too.
Yeah, I mean, I think today we have to hear what the consumer play is, right? How is this going to help us on our devices? That is what Apple has been for so many, for the 1.4 billion devices. All those owners want Apple to give us something better, right? And that better thing isn't yet, or isn't anymore, the iPhone. I mean, sometimes it gets incrementally better. Last week we had a long slew of incremental hardware updates. But now, today, what I think is really different for Apple is they are shifting from selling services to sell more phones to just selling services, it seems. And I think the 1.4 billion install base is important to look at, but I think we also have to look at all the other devices around. And this is, again, a different play from where Apple had been in music. The iPod was tied to iTunes, right? It was a hardware-software combination that everyone was getting with Apple. Here now we've got services that may run across other devices. I mean, Apple's partnered with Samsung, other TV manufacturers. We're expecting announcements on that today.
Ooh, I want to get more into that. But first, Tom, back to the point you were just making. What is more important for a company like Apple? Creating content where video is concerned or aggregating all the content that's out there?
Well, I think creating content is the big deal now. That's what's driving Netflix. That's what's going to drive the leading streaming services, as it is with Amazon also. So they got to do that. And I think it makes sense not to focus on library content and just go for the stuff that's really making an impact out there with TV viewers. But I think they have to use that in some way. Yes, I think they'll be available through other devices, but membership has to have its privileges in some way. And this is a little bit like trying to predict the Mueller report yesterday morning when you know it's coming out in the afternoon and a lot of egg on a lot of pundits' faces. I'm not sure I want to make a bold prediction about what they're going to say in a couple hours, but I'd be surprised if there was not some privilege, some unique spin for the Apple device user. And the question is, how do they take original content, strengthen their role as a TV player, ultimately bring Netflix, Hulu, YouTube around, which today in the aggregate probably count for 80% of streaming viewing, and somehow get those guys to want to agree that being part of the Apple ecosystem under a single roof a la Spotify could make sense for them. That is a tall, tall order, but I think ultimately that's the goal, and original content is a major step towards strengthening their relationship with the TV viewer to get there.
Joanna, how long has Apple been trying to work on reinventing television? And is this time going to be different?
I think before my life, probably all of our lifetimes, if we all add them all up, has Apple been a company for that long? I mean, I think Apple's been in the hardware space. They've had the Apple TV device that feeds us all of the type of content we all watch. Now the question is, can we all live more in Apple's ecosystem when we turn on that Apple TV or that Samsung TV or the Roku TV? I think that's the play they make today. And back to the original content, I really think that's vital. I mean, I think about it, what I pay for, and I do a poll right now. I mean, I pay for Netflix, I pay for Hulu, I pay for Amazon Prime, and I pay for all of those mostly because of some of the unique content that each of those services have, right?
Yeah.
Hulu for Handmaid's Tale, Netflix for Orange is the New Black, I don't know what else we're all watching these days, right? But I mean, it's most of the time the same content that all of those are offering, but the unique offerings in terms of content that we're all shelling out money for.
Let's not forget about the print side of this,
right?
Because they're going to have an easier time there. And the Wall Street Journal part of it. Like the music business, the magazine industry got run over by digital.
Yeah.
A lot of bad mistakes by magazine industry executives. They tried to do something a couple times to recoup. They failed. But I think where you're going to see Apple really do the Spotify version is we're putting all the magazines together under one roof, being able for a very attractive price, $10 a month, be able to get any magazine integrated in a way it's really at your fingertips anytime you want to look at something, have it personalized, be able to save it where you want to. Now, putting news into that, like the Wall Street Journal, to me, that kind of clouds what they're trying to do. It may be very helpful to have, for business users, the Wall Street Journal packaged in there. I'm not quite sure they need, and certainly the New York Times and the Washington Post don't think they need to be part of something like that. But I think when it comes to print, they're going to advance the world of a single stopping point for everything you want to see.
Well, I wonder if they're going to finally have some kind of an Apple membership, which they've resisted. They haven't done an Amazon Prime sort of thing. They want to kind of nickel and dime you for iCloud and for this subscription over here, that one. I wonder between gaming, print, video, whether they start to tie all these things together and give a benefit.
Space.
Storage, we will see.